Welcome to episode 8 of Bakemonogatari. Last time we learned more about Kanbaru and the specific oddity affecting her, so we'll see how that goes this week. I was really liking her character with everything that we had last week and her conversations with Araragi. So, we'll see how it goes now that we're getting information about the monkey's paw / rainy devil from Oshino. So, I'm going to watch it and discuss. Got the subtitles and the timer on the screen if you want to follow along, or you can pull up the episode on your own, but either way. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, play. Alright. Opening the doors and here she is. Okay, she got it from her mother. Really nice present for your child there. And it wasn't the first time she had used it. This is her second wish. Parents dead. Feeling alone. Alright, and she wasn't originally athletic, or at least not fast. Huh. So this is the monkey's paw. This thing is how she became this track star that she is. Part of the Valhalla duo. Really, she's a damn cheater. She's roiding up. That's terrifying. Whoa, okay, I was gonna say, like, what went wrong with this wish? So she envisioned it like, I want to be able to win this race. So what it did was took out some of the other racers. Were they actually killed? But I mean, it would have turned that bad too. But she eventually used it again. I guess she was just so emotional over the Senjogahara stuff. So, it didn't actually make her faster. She got that way on her own. And I said Trackstar earlier, but that was Senjogahara. But either way, the point still stands. She became known as a star athlete, got a lot better on her own. Alright, she wanted a challenge. Not at first sight, but it started developing pretty quickly. She had been carrying that tragedy from the monkey's paw with her the whole time. Yeah, I mean, it's a tempting thing. Yeah. Until now. That's good that she didn't. She had that option there, but she knew it would be a bad idea. But now she's done that, and clearly it's affected her more. Huh. Just the little... It's creepy. It's fucking eco. She just kind of did it. It's longer now. It's like it's taking part of her. So yeah, she just kind of did it without thinking, just went right to it. And she's used it twice, and we get an OP a little bit late. Alright, so we were thinking that she had only used it once, but it's been twice now. It's interesting that one wish doesn't, take over your arm, and then two takes over more of your arm or more of you. Just starts to do that at the second wish, and then can't make a third one unless we make a really clever wish that somehow gets us out of it. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do, but good to get more history about it. So, as the OP is playing, let me say that if you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel. Bakemonogatari comes out on Saturdays, along with other videos every day of the week. And check out the description down below. There's Twitter and Discord if you want to come hang out, and Patreon if you want to support the channel. Get these videos a week early or even earlier than that. School out of the bandages turned into the lily. Polls, vlogs, all that great stuff. So thank you guys. Yeah. We'll see if this is the end of the Suruga Monkey arc. Mayoi's was 3 episodes, and we're face to face with Oshino, so we'll see if he tells them how to take care of it, and then they'll do it. And I really want to see her reunite with Sentogahara and see what the two of them are like now together. Hopefully nobody gets sliced in half with scissors. It's very violent. Human soul, turn devil, wish, negative, destroy, expel. Okay, all that stuff. But we came here to ask you what to do. We don't know. Mm-hmm. I'll give you the tools so that you can do it yourself. Yeah. We've come to you with these questions. He can do it by himself? Or on their own? Okay, probably a bad idea. Don't want to do that. Or you can chop off your own arm. Two not so great options here. Alright. It's true. So just literally get rid of it, chop it off, or fulfill what it's trying to do. It might be the only reason it's manifesting on her like that is because her wish has not been fulfilled yet, and it hasn't succeeded in killing Araragi. It killed her classmates. Maybe not killed them. But you know about that? I guess they were telling him that. That is the gist of it, yeah. Yeah, we established that too. It's a rainy devil. Really? It wouldn't have messed with her at all if she had just been straightforward? She did say she envisioned it, the way she imagined it was specifically about winning this race. So it was actually... So there was more to it than that. She actually specifically thought those thoughts. So it wasn't corrupting her wishes. Yeah. That it just knows what you really want or what you're really thinking, even if that's not what you end up deciding that you want, what you're willing to admit. So it doesn't necessarily corrupt your wishes, it just stays, like, to your truest self and desires. So she just said, oh, it must have been twisting my words, and not rationalizing that it was taking what she was really thinking. Yeah, that's a pretty big sign. Which means the wish was fulfilled. Yeah. Just like that, but here it's still here. Hard to kill him because he's a vampire. Very lucky on that front for him. Was one. That makes her even more interesting. Wow. Learning so much more about her. Yeah. What she truly desired deep down. But I mean, you have all kinds of thoughts. You can't control your thoughts. Shit pops in your head. Okay, some Shinobu stuff. Shit pops into your head all the time, and, you can tell yourself, no, that's bad. I don't really want that, or I would never do it. I would never act on it. Get the girl a donut. Alright, some Shinobu feeding time. Okay, let's fight the devil. Why not? Are we just gonna have a fight? That thing fucking demolished him before. That was crazy. Alright. But is it just, like, up to the devil itself? Like, does it just get to choose? Power, literally power, getting a power up? Wow. So it just gets to decide, I can't do it. I'm going home. Like, it won't be like, oh, I'll just try again another time. Okay, Araragi versus the Rainy Devil. Rematch. Let's go. I didn't expect a fight. And we might not even get one. I don't know what's going to happen. That doesn't mean she deserves to have this thing taking her over. Sure. Yeah, why not? It's not worth just hating the girl and not trying to help at all. All right, you're on your own. Here it is. I got you for 3 minutes. Let's go, round 2. 3 minutes of playtime. Holy shit. When they want to have some good action animation, they fucking have it. And they can... Oh, they can do shit like that because he's got healing powers. Solid... Oh, gross. Solid hits. Solid hits. Fuck, dude, are you kidding me? This is fucking gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, she'll still... Maybe they're not as strong, but she can use them. Wow. Okay. But, I mean, I probably has more control over her. She said to cut it off. If those were the only two options, kill him or cut it off. Can you palm a basketball? Do it one-handed? Probably not. Japanese girl. No pain is good, but you still don't have an arm. He doesn't want to do that. I won't say no reason at all, but... Yeah, the crab. The crab really did twist her words, though. Or just took it wrong. Although it did give her what she wanted, but also the other thing. I love the color. Yikes. Holy shit. Oh my god! I love the fucking art and the animation and the colors. This and the direction, and I'm... Oh my god, this is amazing! I didn't expect to get a resolution. I didn't think we'd get another action scene in this arc, honestly. Especially not like this. I didn't expect this shit. This is... Wow. He couldn't win. And now... This is unexpected. He said neither Shinobu or I will come save you. He didn't say anything about her. He did. Fairly obvious lie. You did. That was like yesterday. It wasn't that long ago. I don't even think it was about oddities. I think you just said about anything. That's a lot of deaths. He's been fucked up pretty good already. It's like, you've gotten your punishment. He was self-sacrificing. And that is not what she would want at all. You've threatened to kill him many a time. But that's the thing. I think you're probably right. He would have just let himself die. That's just like the normal thing for him. Senjugahara saves the day. A magnificent bastard. Making it clear, like, I do not reciprocate those feelings, but... Oh yeah, you got fucked. Right? He is so... That was insane. God, I can't imagine some other studio adapting that fight scene. Or any other show, but you get to a scene like that and you imagine your typical anime fight scene and how it's generally maybe not so good. And then you see that and you're like, fuck. So go get him. Okay. Why is that? What have they done with the devil's hand? Should probably get rid of that. I mean, I know it's still bandaged up. Wow. Interesting. Okay, there's the resolution to the third arc. So next time, this girl, I guess. Or Hanekawa. Some other girl. Some other thing. Seems, oh wow, yeah, we got something going on with this girl. And him and Kanbaru were like... when... The preview quizzes just stopped being quizzes. There were like 2 or 3 where they were a quiz. Anyway, let's talk about it. Alright, episode 8, the finale of the Suruga monkey arc. And once again, Bakemonogatari delivers a pretty fantastic ending to an arc. I'm loving this show. I think it's great. There's so many good things in this episode. We still get more insight on Kanbaru, and I'm liking her more and more the more we see of her. We'll get to the action animation. Great stuff with Senjugahara and Oshino. There's a lot of good stuff. Learning more about this monkey's paw / devil's hand and the fact that she got it from her mother. There's always something going on with the mother. Of course, a very traumatic stuff between Senjugahara and her mom. Mayoi on her quest to go see her mom. Araragi and his issues with his mother or his parents, and seemingly that way with Hanekawa too. And now, here, once again, this was something her mother gave her and her parents have now passed away, so there's always that little through line in there. Something else that is always in there is basically being careful what you wish for. That's a big thing in this with the monkey's paw, of course, but it was also the case with Senjugahara, very heavily, wanting the weight of all these emotions and everything to be taken, and it was taken too literally, and she got a little more than she bargained for. And then you also had that kind of thing in Mayoi's arc, because the only people who could see her were people who didn't want to go home, and they would then get lost with her and they couldn't go home. So all of them so far have had that kind of be careful what you wish for type of thing. This thing that deep down you think you want, but then you get it and it's not all it's cracked up to be. So that's very interesting. I can't wait to see if that applies to future arcs as well. But I was talking last time about, like, why does it matter the distinction between it being a monkey's paw or the devil's hand? Like, does it really matter what we call it? But it absolutely does, because of the reveal of its true nature, the true nature of Kanbaru's wishes. Just learning all of this stuff is super interesting. The fact that she used it before to win this race, and it apparently, from what we would think, corrupted her wish, fulfilled it in a way that she wouldn't have wanted, and instead of just making her faster, it beat the shit out of her competitors so that she could win. But this, eventually we learned that since this is a devil's hand, it's the rainy devil, it doesn't actually do that. It does operate under your wishes, just the ones that are like deep in your mind, the ones that you truly think of deep down. Because people have some nasty thoughts sometimes. You can't control what you think. Thoughts will come into your mind and you might brush them off and say, oh, I'm terrible for thinking that. And then when you're actually going to go operate in society, you realize not to act on those kind of thoughts, apply your moral human judgments to them and just stifle those. But everybody has bad thoughts that they can't help. And this thing acts on those truest subconscious desires deep down. So that's what she really thought about attacking those other kids because of the bad state she was in her life, and about killing Araragi. That's what she really thought deep down, and it was truly acting on those desires. And Araragi is just lucky that he cannot be killed that easily because of his healing powers. And this really plays into his character as well, being this selfless guy who just wants to help so much, and how he is willing to just, say that Kanbaru has no responsibility over this whatsoever, and how he wouldn't have guessed this, he couldn't have seen this coming, because he is such a good guy that he sees that in other people as well. And even after the fact, he's ready to easily forgive her, and his selflessness is such a fault. He's lying to Senjugahara even though he promised not to do that. That was like the one thing that they said when they formed their relationship. And then it can be such a detriment. Selflessness can circle around into being selfishness. Like, being willing to get yourself killed for this can be selfish in its own way. That is absolutely not what anyone else involved wants here. And that's very reflective of his powers as well. Like, all the girls have their symbolic connections to the animals and the oddities and whatnot. But the fact that he has this extraordinary healing factor is tied into the fact that he will take these hits. He is willing to sacrifice himself so much, take all this punishment for people. And that power symbolically ties into that he can take so much punishment. And I love how Senjugahara said, like, I know that even if you weren't like that, you'd still do this shit anyway. Like, if he thought he would get killed, he would still do all this shit. It's very interesting. So many harem protagonists, they're just like the good guy just because they're just the good guy because all the girls have to be attracted to them, and so they gotta save all the girls, and then they're just a nice guy. But he has this great flaw about him that causes him to want to help all these girls, and I love seeing it addressed that way. And the fight itself was probably just the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, holy shit, that was fantastic. I didn't think we'd get another action scene. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm not going to expect them very often going forward. The show has been mostly conversational. We got that little bit of action in episode 6, and I was like, okay, that's a cool little way to spice it up in there. I'm not going to be expecting it too often, but the fact that we got this fairly lengthy action scene here that was incredible. Just the direction, the art, the animation, the color design, it looked amazing. I am so glad that Studio Shaft and the team behind this show are the people who made it. Just adapting this series, anybody else doing it, it just would not be anywhere near the level of this. Like, so many scenes have been so good just because of the visuals and the direction, and that action scene was mind-blowing. It was so brutal and intense. Like, that was genuinely fucking incredible. Like I said, I really like Suruga as well, learning so much more about her. Just how she became the athletic person that she is, how that's tied into the monkey's paw, not knowing how exactly it worked and how long it may affect her. She's like, well, I don't want that to subconsciously take me over and me go attacking other people who are better than me that I get jealous of, so I've just got to be the best. I can't go up against anybody who may be better than me, and so she trained, and that's really great. Her love for Senjugahara and the conversation between them at the end is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for them to interact. She was being very selfless herself, being willing to get rid of the arm, cut it off, acknowledging, her fault in this, whereas Araragi wasn't willing to. And this was the most I've ever liked Oshino as well. He had quite a bit of a role here, his conversation with Araragi. And then you also have Shinobu, a little bit more with her, and getting strength from her, which is interesting because you would think like sucking her blood would give him power, but it was her sucking his blood, which is interesting. Like, there's so many different types of vampiric lore, but typically the most basics you would think, the vampire bites you, you become a vampire. So maybe since he had already been a vampire, she can't do it again, so her biting him just gives him part of his old vampire strength back, but just typically you would think him drinking vampire blood would give him that strength. But it's very interesting. It works, but it's kind of unique, and maybe it might be kind of a symbolic type thing, like him giving up blood, sacrificing a part of himself makes him stronger, because that's just kind of the way he is. But that's a cool little dynamic with Shinobu. But yeah, I loved Oshino's conversation with him prepping for the fight that was going to take place. Even during that, I was thinking, there might not actually be any action, because it's Bakemonogatari, you never know. But then what we got was far exceeded any expectations that I could have had. I just love, all the different levels that this show has. You've got this incredible action, the surface level story of him saving Kanbaru, and just stuff that I've talked about before, how you think it's the monkey's paw, and that's a great enough story on its own. That's enough for it to just be a monkey's paw, and it's corrupting her wishes. But then Nisio Isin just takes it to the next level and reveals, oh, it's actually this other thing, and that just adds a whole new level of complexity to the characters. It makes Kanbaru way more interesting, and how she reflects off of Araragi and their actions makes it all more interesting. It ties it in thematically even more, and this show seems to just always take that extra step where other stories wouldn't. It would just kind of leave it at a more simple state for what the characters' motivations are, or the length of their conversations, or just anything at all. Nisio Isin seems to always come up with something that would be good enough and would probably be a complete story in the hands of somebody else, but then there's always something else to it too. And it's a great resolution. The fight was very good thematically and visually, and Senjugahara coming in to save the day was really good, forgiving Araragi and bringing back the conversation they had before, which again, that's just a conversation that was very entertaining, but it comes back to have another level to it and a deeper purpose when she says, hey, I said that anybody who kills you, I would kill them. And resolving this conflict, having her moment with Kanbaru not being able to reciprocate those feelings, but understanding them and, sharing her own different feelings and saying that she was sorry, and having a good moment between those two. And she still has an effect on her arm. There are some consequences for that. I don't know to what extent exactly. She says she can't play basketball, so I don't know if anything is going to come of that later on, any further repercussions for how that arm was affected, but for now, those are the consequences of those wishes. So yeah, this is a great arc, a great new character, a great resolution to it, and I can't wait to see more of Kanbaru. We haven't had a lot of Mayoi. She just had her little bits in this arc, so I don't know how heavily involved a lot of these girls will be in future girls' arcs, because we do need to focus a lot on the new girls and on Araragi and Senjugahara, since they're the most important, and maybe some of these girls like Mayoi and Kanbaru will then get more spotlight in future Monogatari series. But I do hope to see quite a bit more of Kanbaru. She's in the preview quite a bit for the next episode, so we shall see how it goes. Yeah, I'm loving the show, so let me know your thoughts on this episode. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and check out all the links in the description. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.